Hello, everybody. It's Marianne Bailey with Live Community. Today, we are talking to Lesllie Davis, and the title of her class today is What Color is My Shirt? Meeting Your Emotions and Honoring Them. Lesllie, welcome.
Oh, Marianne, thank you so much. First of all, I'm so excited I get to talk to you because you're one of my most favorite people in the whole wide world. And to actually get to share you with other people is very exciting. But secondly, I get to talk about something that I am absolutely passionate about. Shall we get started?
Absolutely. By the way, you're one of my favorite people as well. So the
Oh,
feeling
well,
is
thank you
mutual.
so much. Thank you so much. Now, those of you who are listening, watching, you're probably wondering, what in the heck does the color of a shirt have to do with anything? Let me just tell you a little bit of a story. A while back, I was among some people that I thought knew what was going on, and they were in tune with the world and in tune with their emotions and all of that kind of stuff. And I was wearing one of my favorite color pink shirts. It was fuchsia pink. And I said to them, "Don't you like my pink shirt?" And they looked at me like, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "Yeah, don't you like my pink shirt?" And they said, "Well, that's not pink, that's blue." I was like, "Oh, okay." And because these were people that I know and trust, I believed that they knew better than I did, better than what my body was telling me, that my shirt was blue. So then we fast forward through some time, and I'm around some people who are emotionally healthy, in tune with their healthy emotions, and aware of their feelings. And I said to them, "Don't you like my blue shirt?" And they looked at me, they looked at each other, and then they looked back at me and they said, "Blue? That's pink." And I was like, "Wait, what?" All these people that I knew, liked, and trusted were telling me that my pink shirt was blue when I really believed it was blue, was pink. And then I began to believe them. And now you're telling me it really is pink. So what am I supposed to do with that? What does the color of your shirt have to do with your emotions? Marianne, how many times have you expressed, feel sad, I feel glad, I feel happy, whatever it is. And the person that you're talking to says to you, "You shouldn't feel that way."
Oh, like a million.
And how did you feel when they said you shouldn't feel that way?
I used to feel degraded and lower and less than, and but not anymore. Not after working with you.
Awesome. Because isn't when that person says to you, "You shouldn't be feeling that way," isn't that just like saying that your pink shirt is blue? Because then you're questioning your.
Keep going. I accidentally hit pause. I will edit that out.
So when somebody says to you that you shouldn't be feeling that way, isn't that very much like somebody telling you that your pink shirt is blue? It's somebody that you can trust, someone that you believe, whose opinion you look up to, who you go to for information, and they're telling you that your pink shirt that you believe is pink, your body is telling you is pink. They're saying to you it's blue, very much like you going to that person and you say, "You know what, right now I feel sad. I feel mad. I feel fill in the blank." And they say to you, "You shouldn't feel that way." Your body starts saying, "Wait a minute, hold on. I thought that I was feeling an honest and real emotion, but this person who knows obviously way more than I do is telling me I shouldn't be feeling this way. How should I be feeling?" Here. And then we start that internal battle. And I don't know about you, but when somebody said to me a while back, "You shouldn't be feeling that way," I could feel the tension start rising inside because my body knew the truth. My mind was having a hard time balancing the truth that my body was saying with the words of somebody that I trusted. Can you see how that sets up an internal conflict? And Marianne, when you experienced that internal conflict, what was it that you did to help resolve that internal conflict?
Down at my shirt. No. I had to do some internal work on figuring out what my truth was and learn to ignore what everybody else told me what their thoughts were.
But before you took that step, before you got to that land of healthy people who knew that your pink shirt was really pink, what was it that you did to settle that tension that you had inside?
I self doubted a lot.
Okay. Can you hear the negative conversation going on?
Oh, yeah. I remember that conversation.
And many people, like myself, we will turn to what I like to call my drug of choice because the tension inside becomes so great that we have to do something so that we can break that tension. And for me, my drug of choice was either I would rip my fingernails down to the quick or I would eat, you know, 18 cookies in 5 minutes, a whole bag of Ruffles potato chips with a whole container of onion dip. Other people may use drugs or shopping or whatever your drug of choice is, you do something because the internal tension is so great that you feel as if you're going to explode if you don't do something to release the valve. So I'm glad that you mentioned that as you got healthier, that you started having the conversation with yourself and you started pushing aside the words that they were saying. Because when we honor our emotions, when we acknowledge this is how I feel. For example, let's say you have a quote unquote sworn enemy. All right. Yes, I'm going to go here. You have a quote unquote sworn enemy and something terrible happens to them. For example, they had an amazing car that they just were totally in love with, and a storm came through and a big tree fell down on their car that they were so in love with and got smashed. Karma, right? Yeah. How would you feel if that karma happened to that person that was your sworn enemy? Be honest.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
The old me would have been really like, yes,
Uh,
finally. The new me would be like, I don't wish ill on anybody or bad things to happen. And so the new me would be like, what a waste of a good car. But also that person now has insurance to deal with and all that other stuff. So it's dramatically changed over the last couple of years of how I would look at that.
but your first reaction was karma, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? That is okay. That because our what we feel is what we feel. And if we feel in those moments when our sworn enemy has something terrible happen to them, if we feel that's karma, that is okay. Now, yes, we can take a step back and say, "What I really don't wish ill on anybody. I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody." But let's be honest, because when we start lying to ourselves, that's when that tension inside builds. And that's when we start going to our drug of choice. I asked that question to give you this point. Your feelings, regardless of what they are, your feelings. Nobody else gets a vote. You do not have any bad feelings, as in you should not be thinking that way. You only have feelings. Now, let's not put any qualifiers on them. They simply are feelings, and how you feel is how you feel, and nobody else gets a vote. The other thing is, oftentimes somebody will say, you shouldn't, and then complete the sentence. I'm on a one person campaign. I would love for other people to join me. I'm on a one person campaign to remove the word should from the dictionary. Because to me, when we start throwing out the word should, it carries with it the heavy weight of shame. And so many of us, especially if we have been told we shouldn't be feeling that way, we feel ashamed of our feelings. And I don't know about you, but I could do shame with one hand tied behind my back and blindfolded. I was very comfortable with shame. Not anymore. I don't want to be there anymore. But when somebody says to you, you shouldn't be feeling that way, what can you do? The first thing you can do is you can say to yourself, this person is in that crazy land where they don't know the difference between pink and blue. That's the first thing you can say to yourself. The second thing that you can do is simply smile, walk away, and say to yourself, my feelings are my feelings, and you don't get a vote. And how would that feel?
Good.
Can you expand on that beyond good?
Empowering. It would make me feel like I was reclaiming my power and my own emotions.
And valuing them. Can you hear, can you feel your body relaxing as you talk about reclaiming your emotions and feeling empowered? And how is that?
Good. This is not therapy, Leslie. This is your class.
I understand, but you are my only subject right here until we get some other people in here. So we circle around to why do we want to be naming our emotions in the first place? The reason that we want to be naming our emotions is that's how we communicate with ourselves. If we are denying what we are feeling, if we are believing that our shirt is blue instead of being really pink, then we're denying what we really feel. And what that does is it sets up conflict inside and the tension starts rising. And we have to do something so that we can resolve that tension. And oftentimes it's either that we explode. You've heard the straw that broke the camel's back, how one little teeny tiny thing can release this huge outpouring of temper tantrums, or we do something that inflicts more pain on ourselves so that we go down that road of shame because shame is comfortable. We can do shame. But as we begin to get comfortable with our emotions and our feelings, and we recognize that, yes, our shirt really is pink, we also recognize it is not our responsibility to teach somebody else that our shirt is pink. Our only responsibility is to honor what we know to be true and to demonstrate to the other people that our shirt is pink instead of being blue. When they say to us, you shouldn't be feeling that way, we end the conversation at that point. We smile, we turn, we walk away. We know that this is not a safe person to have that conversation with because you're only in control of one person, and that's you're not in control of anybody else. And what anybody else chooses to believe is what they choose to believe. And here's a secret. We teach other people how to treat us. And the way that they learn how to treat us is they observe how we are treating ourselves. If we are denying what we really feel and we are denying our real emotions, and we are allowing someone else to tell us you shouldn't feel that way, then we're telling them that everything that we do in our life is subject to their approval. That's what we're teaching them. And what are we teaching ourselves? We're teaching ourselves that we can't trust our own feelings, our own intuition. We can't trust our internal tension because somebody else knows better than we do. Now, how do we start? How do we start trusting our internal voice? The way that I did it was Marianne's most favorite thing in the world. I grabbed pen and I grabbed paint. And I started having a written conversation with myself. What is it that you're feeling right now? What is really going on? And yes, I'll write that question down. What is really, there you go. What is really going on? And then I'll listen. And yes, I write both sides of the conversation. Yes, I write the questions that I ask myself. And yes, I write the answers down. Right now, what's really going on is I'm a little bit frustrated because I've got all these things that I want to get done, and nobody is helping me with these things. And I can feel that tension building up inside. And you know what? If I'm really honest with myself, I can remember that time back when I was a kid, and I felt as if I was responsible for all of these people and nobody was helping me. And I got confused as to whether I was a kid or an adult. And then I continue having that conversation until I feel as if I've gotten that whole conversation out. And what I've done is I've honored my emotions. I've listened to myself. And not only that, but I have discovered where in my past this feeling is really coming from. Because events that happen in our past are repeated in our present. And unless we acknowledge them and we honor them and we honor what we were feeling back there, the same thing is going to happen in our future. Instead of being able to step into a future knowing that your pink shirt really is pink. Now, let's talk about just one more thing real quick. Marianne, how many times have you said, so and so made me fill in the blank?
Probably more times than I can remember.
Now, if you're being really honest with yourself, did they really make you feel whatever it was?
I would say, because you said made me, and I was thinking that they made me feel more than they ever made me do something. No, they didn't make me. That was strictly a conversation in my own head.
Okay, fair. But we do make that expression, don't we?
A lot.
Yeah. So and so made me mad. So and so made me angry. So and so made me sad. We even say so and so made me happy. I want you to start rephrasing that sentence. When this happened, or when somebody did this, I felt fill in the blank. When the guy who was mowing picked up a rock and flung it through the window and shattered the window, and then knocked off my favorite figurine, I felt sad and angry at the same time. Instead of saying, when all of that happened, he made me sad and angry. We want to keep our power. We want to maintain our power. If somebody says something hurtful to you, he made me mad when he said that I was uglier, fill in the blank. No. When he said, you are, too short, I felt mad. Keep your power. Don't give it away. You have a choice. There are two choices when somebody does or says something. You can either choose to let the comment fall on the floor with a thud and a splat and all that garbage splash back on their shoes, or you can choose to feel what you feel. But it's your choice. No one can make you anything except reservations for dinner, and I prefer at a five-star restaurant, and you pick up the tab. To bring all of this together, I want you to start listening to the words that you're using when you're talking about how you're feeling. I want you to start being aware of the tension that builds inside of you when you are trying to ignore some of your feelings. I want you to start grabbing pen and paper when you feel that tension start rising and you're searching for a way to settle the tension, such as your drug of choice. Let's start having the conversation with our very best friend in the whole wide world. Let's start being honest about our emotions. Because remember, what you feel is what you feel, and nobody else gets a vote. And yes, your pink shirt is absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Now, if I knew we were going to be talking about pink shirts today, I would have definitely worn a pink shirt because neither one of us are wearing a pink shirt, but no, it's all good. Leslie, thank you for sharing your information today. And your knowledge is invaluable as always. And we definitely appreciate it here at Live Community. And we look forward to having you on more and more, hopefully. I think we've got you scheduled in 2 weeks.
I believe so.
Okay. And then tomorrow, guys, tomorrow wraps up launch week number 2 for us, grand opening. And tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern time, we have Sassy Glamla. She's going to be teaching women over the age of 50 or men how to do their makeup, which is exciting. She is just full of vigor and excitement, and she's beautiful and wonderful as well. And then at 4 o'clock, we're going to be learning about wine and wine tastings. I don't think tomorrow's a wine tasting day, but we're going to be telling you what to have on hand for the following week if you want to participate in a wine tasting as well as that. So on Fridays at 4 o'clock, it's going to be happy hour. That's really exciting as well. And consider joining Live Community. It's going to be full of all kinds of programming and events and different chat options. I've got a platform lined up that I'm hoping that we're going to move over to that will make things so simple that you just would be part of the whole program. It'll be really amazing. Feel free to reach out to me, ask questions if you're interested in teaching classes or just sponsoring classes or anything like that. Just come be part of it. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It's going to be big. So I hope that you will join us tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern time. If you go to livecommunity.online, you will see all the links to be able to sign up. Leslie, again, thank you for being part of Live Community. We appreciate you so much. And I hope everybody has a great day. Oh, wait, Leslie, how do they
What?
find you?
Do what?
How do they find you?
If they want more information, the
Yeah.
easiest way to find me is to go to my website, youcan'teatlove.com. That's the
Forgot to
easiest
mention,
place to
Leslie also
find
has a
out.
book by that name as well.
Yes. You can find out about the book. You can find out about me. You can reach out and contact me. And yes, it really is me answering you. I do not have a virtual assistant. I had a reader one time say, "You are a real person." Yes, I am a real person. So reach out. I will answer.
Way, you can also go to thehipsenior.com, click on books, find Leslie's book, and watch an interview between me and her about her book on there as well. So, everybody, have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.